Hey guys, Swanee and Cookie here with another Helldivers 2 update video. The new Warbond trailer just dropped earlier this morning. Arrowhead put out some new community polls to try to gather feedback over on Discord, and we got a small hotfix today as well. So Cookie, why don't you hit us with the new hotfix first?
So this hotfix is patch 1.00.301. It's a pretty small one. It's just meant to fix a couple of crashes that have been happening often since the latest patch. There's a fix for a crash that could occur during the post-mission end screen, and also a fix for a crash which could occur when destroying automaton tanks. So it's a pretty small hotfix, but any crash fixes is always appreciated. Spitz, who is one of the community managers on Discord, said that there should be more hotfixes coming in the coming weeks as well, so we'll probably have one of these on a weekly basis for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, which is good, because I've been noticing a lot of comments in our most recent videos about people just complaining about all the crashing that's happening. I personally haven't had any crashes. I think I've had maybe one crash on the day of the big update that happened on Monday, but I haven't had any since. So, you know, obviously everybody's console or PC is going to play differently, but it's always a good sign that they're working on hot fixes to, you know, fix these crashing issues.
Right, and that's just been common after these patches that there's been crash problems, but at least for me personally, I've had less of that. But as you said, the community seems to be having as much a problem as always with post-patch crashes.
So next up, we just got a brand new Warbond trailer, and it appears that the leaks were in fact true. It looks like it's going to be like snow themed, which is pretty awesome. The new Warbond is called Polar Patriots, and it looks like we're getting the same amount of content as always. We're getting 3 new primary weapons, we're getting a secondary weapon, a utility booster, and an impact grenade. And then of course we're getting some armor sets and some capes as well. So Cookie, why don't you go over all of the new weapons for us?
First off is the AR-61 Tenderizer. This is the gun that kind of reminds me of the Starship Troopers gun. Says that it's a real tentacle terror. This high caliber assault rifle has awesome stopping power but limited magazine size, so make each shot count. Unpatriotic banter shots are not advisable. So it does sound like this could be a difficult one on ammo. There's plenty of guns in this game that have an ammo issue, especially after they just shortened a lot of the mags in the latest patch, so this is going to be no different. Although the saying a real tentacle terror is interesting, because as of now we don't really face anything with tentacles. Kind of sounds Illuminati, just throwing that in there. Just thought that was an interesting choice of words.
I also think this weapon kind of looks like a battle rifle from Halo, which is kind of neat too.
Yeah, I mean, from watching some of the leaked footage of like how the weapon would look and how it looks in the trailer, it's just looks like it's going to have a lot of power. It could be similar to the Eruptor maybe, but I don't think it's going to have explosive damage. It's just going to be, you know, a very powerful kind of gun, bolt action and everything.
Yeah, I can't wait to test this one out.
Next up is the SMG-72 Pummeler. It has a slower rate of fire than your other SMGs, but these concussive rounds will leave your enemy dazed, confused, and still very ugly. Good things come to Helldivers who wait. So like it says, it's a slower rate of fire, which is a little odd for an SMG, but another SMG is really needed in this game. There's only 2, and most people only have 1 unless you have the special edition, so it would be really nice to have this, because one-handed guns are so important right now.
Yeah, there's a huge lack of SMGs, but I don't know how I feel about the concussive rounds. They have them on that Liberator concussive, and it kind of sucks. All it does is kind of push the enemies back, and it just staggers them, and it doesn't do enough damage to just continuously kill enemies. I find myself just staggering the enemies more than I'm actually killing them. It's good in a support role if you want to help your teammates, just continuously stun the enemies, and then your teammates can get the kills, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, you'd think that would be really good, especially against the bugs, to keep them off of you, but yeah, if it's not doing any damage, then it doesn't matter. So it'll be interesting. It's nice to see it's at least it's unique and a little different than the Defender. I hope it's good. SMGs are just so desperately needed. And then the most unique of the new guns is the Plas 101 Purifier. It says set the trap, hold the trigger, let them charge at you, smile, they're getting closer, smile again, closer, smile, closer, and release the trigger, splat. The longer you can hold your nerve and the trigger, the bigger the damage.
Ooh.
So this is basically, it's just a gun that you hold in the trigger as long as possible, and it gets more and more powerful the longer you hold it in. I assume it's got to reach a threshold of power.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Like, is there a cap?
I mean, it doesn't say so in this description, but this description is not meant to be super specific, so yeah. I don't know. I also was wondering if it would blow you up like the railgun does if you use it in unsafe mode and you overcharge it. But I don't, it doesn't say anything about that.
I couldn't see that happening with a prime primary weapon, because that would suck if you're blowing yourself up with a primary. But also, I feel like there has to be a cap, because what's stopping you from just charging it forever and then running into like a Bile Titan and just blowing it up in one shot or something?
Yeah, I mean, there has to be a cap, or else the game would blow up itself. Like, at some point, you can't hold it in forever.
Just one-shotting chargers.
It is kind of cool, though, the idea that you can hold it in and really do some serious damage, potentially.
Yeah, this one's going to be pretty interesting, especially if it can, like, one-shot Devastators and stuff. This is basically going to work as, like, a sniper rifle type deal.
Yeah, is there any primary in the game that you hold in to fire? I know there's a few...
well, there's the laser ones.
Support weapon. Yeah, but, like, fire, like, hold in to make your shot more powerful. I don't think there's anything that does that.
No, it's kind of like the Quasar Cannon, yeah.
So moving on to the secondary weapons, there is the new pistol called the P113 Verdict. Says the guys in R&D love this one. Gas-operated, semi-automatic, and chambers the largest centerfire cartridge of any Lund pistol of its kind. Rapid deliberation, they call it. Quick draw to look cool in front of your squad. It's another pistol. This one doesn't look super unique to me, but you never know how powerful it's going to be till you really get to use it, I guess.
Yeah, there's only a couple secondaries in this game that I really like to go back and forth between anyway, so I hope this is powerful. I mean, right now I've been using the crap out of that new the updated hand cannon, whatever it's called, the Senator, and it's been a lot of fun, so I hope that this can compete with that.
The new grenade will be the G13 Incendiary Impact. It says don't waste time reading the instructions, lob it at the enemy and run. This thing detonates on impact, ignites the area in white phosphorus, so make sure you and your allies are not standing around having a chat. So I showed this one in leaks from a couple days ago, and it does exactly what it says it does. It's just an impact grenade and an incendiary grenade smashed together. I like both grenades, so this is kind of interesting to me to see what it would be like if they were both in one.
I feel like this is going to just completely replace the regular incendiary grenade for me, because with the incendiary, the only reason it has a timer is like it's good for maybe throwing it into like fabricators and stuff, but honestly, if I have like an incendiary grenade, I'm not going to be throwing them into bug holes or throwing them into robot factories. I want to throw them on the ground and catch the ground on fire to kill Terminids, and this is going to make it a lot faster, so I'm excited for this.
The impact incendiary probably could still easily blow up bug holes. Fabricators will be harder because it's high up. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it might make the incendiary grenade obsolete.
Yeah, with the other impact grenade, I don't use the regular grenades that have fuses anymore. I just always use the impact grenade.
And the new booster is called Motivational Shocks. It says literally shocks Helldivers back into action after being hit and slowed by sneaky, unjust attacks like the revolting bug acid vomit. Won't help you much with area effects like EMS strikes, though. This sounds really interesting to me. I'm not entirely sure what this is going to mean. It definitely sounds like when the acid vomit slows you down, whether that's a bile spitter or from, I would assume, even the Bile Titan, you won't be slowed down. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know about all the other things that slow you down. Like, it says EMS stuff. It won't help you there. But there are other things that slow you down, like the hunters and...
Oh, if this booster can help against hunters, this is going to be my #1 pick against the Terminids, because I hate getting slowed down. And if I'm not slowed down and I can just keep on running, oh boy, that's a game changer.
That might actually be too powerful, because you also have to keep in mind, like, what about like the shots from robots, like heavy devastators and stuff that slow you down? Is that going to be affected too? I kind of doubt it. I think it's probably just going to be for vomit. But even just for vomit, if you end up on one of those planets with the bile spewers and the bile spitters, that's got to be worth using if you're on a planet like that. But the only problem is you don't know before you play if there's going to be bile spewers there, so that could be a little bit difficult to figure out, but definitely interesting. So like you said, there are 3 new armor sets. The one is called the CW36 Winter Warrior, the CW22 Kodiak, and the CW4 Arctic Ranger have all been added. It doesn't say whether they are light, heavy, or medium armor. I guess you can guess by the way they look. Yeah, I mean, they all look really, really cool. It does say that the Winter Warrior has a passive boost for serve assisted, and it says that the Kodiak has a passive boost for fortified. So that's kind of all the details we get other than how they look.
So the one lets you throw things farther, and the other one gives you, fortified, so you can take more damage. My guess is that the fortified one is either medium or heavy armor.
Yeah, I would think that would be really interesting if a light armor is fortified.
Yeah, and then the Arctic Ranger, its passive boost is a scout, so it's probably going to be the light armor.
I would think so. The Arctic Ranger looks a lot like one of the other armors in the game, which is also a light armor, so I would assume that's just another light armor. The Winter Warrior is the one that's hard to tell, because it kind of looks like a heavy armor, but it could also be medium.
Yeah,
and it's supposed to have some stealth abilities, which usually a light armor thing. So I don't know about that one.
I'm really enjoying the look of these armors. They look pretty cool.
Yeah, especially the Arctic Ranger, very unique, because blue is something that's hardly in Helldivers armors, and this is very much blue. So I'm totally in favor. It looks cool. And as always, 3 new capes to go along with the armor sets, and it also says that there, as usual, be 3 new emotes victory poses. It says emotes victory poses, so I'm assuming they're just victory poses, but maybe there is a new emote in it. It says both. It says emotes victory poses, so I don't know if one's an emote, 2 are victory poses, who knows, but those are all going to be in there as well.
Then as for the 2 new polls that were added over on Discord for the community to vote on, the first one says, which Warbond had your favorite weapons overall? The Helldivers Mobilize, the Steeled Veterans, the Cutting Edge, or the Democratic Detonation? And then for the second poll, it says, which Warbond had your favorite armors overall? The Helldivers Mobilize, Steel Veterans, Cutting Edge, or the Democratic Detonation? So if you guys would like to take a vote, you just head over to the Discord and head to the player poll section. You don't have very long to vote, so I would get on that as soon as possible if you want your vote to be heard.
It's interesting, though, that they're focusing so much on what the opinions are about war bonds moving forward. It kind of sounds like they're trying to figure out what to do for their future war bonds and stuff. But we haven't had a poll in a while. It's been over 2 weeks now, so kind of cool. I'm not honestly sure what I would vote for any of these. Like, people are probably going to have to really think about this, because I don't remember which guns came from what, so.
Well, wasn't the Helldivers Mobilize the first one?
Yeah, and that's a big one. That has 10 pages of stuff.
That's obviously my favorite because it gave me the most stuff.
Yeah, the Scorchers in that one and everything. So it's kind of a weird one to do it that way, but I wouldn't be surprised if people put Democratic Detonation just because it's the most recent and they forget what's in the other one.
Every single Warbond has at least one standout weapon that I really love, so kind of hard in that regard.
Yeah, I'm just saying I think people aren't gonna know, like, right off the top of their head which one's their favorite. I really have no idea how the poll is going to turn out in this one, but it's got about, as of recording this, around 30,000 votes. I'm sure it'll have more throughout the day, but it's also a short one. So like we said, as soon as you see this, you should get out there and get your vote heard on this one.
So that is going to do it for everything in today's quick little update video, guys. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. It's greatly appreciated. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the thumbs up button because it helps us out in the algorithm. So that is going to do it for us, and we will talk to you all in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.